Welcome to Merchant Seeds Cup of Joe. On this episode, we share highlights from our 70th anniversary open house.
Today we're going to show you some highlights of our open house in our 70th anniversary. You might say get together, party, whatever you want to call it, here at West Point, where we had the tours of the plots, the seed plant, the truck barns, the warehouses, the office, and it's our opportunity to mix with the customers that make our jobs possible. So here's some of the highlights, and we got a few customers to get on Cup of Joe, and we sincerely appreciate some of the kind words they said. Hi, I'm here with Dave Pranger, one of my dad's friends. Had many a encounter at West Point Community Club, Sweet Corn Festival. Tell us a little bit about your experience with my dad.
Your dad was a real rare gem. He was a very active supporter of the community, and I really admire him for all that he did, his contributions. I've been around, well, I grew up just a couple of blocks away from here. I do have some memories of the place. Remember when the original building burned down? I was on the fire department there.
1985. Which
was, your dad was also a great supporter of that. I remember the helicopter lift?
Yep, the helicopter lift. We moved 22 bins from about 14 miles away in 24 hours with a helicopter.
That was an awesome spectacle.
If we could have got $1 for every person that was watching it, we could have paid for the bins.
Are they still here?
They're still here. We're still using them.
They're the ones that are down there.
They're the ones we use. What I like about Dave is when the West Point Sweet Corn Festival, one day it rained and rained and rained, and nobody showed up to shuck the corn. Now they shuck the corn right outside our warehouse here, and they made it a family event, and they do it in an hour and a half. But back in the old days, they did it up at the locker, and they put the corn out, and the only draw point was beer, if I remember right. You drank beer.
And it still is.
Still is a little bit, today. However, nobody showed up because it rained. And so if you remember the Blues Brothers, this movie, The Blues Brothers, you put two big speakers on top of your Rambler station wagon and drove around town and said, we need people to shuck corn for the Sweet Corn Festival. And I'll never forget that. And then when the Blues Brothers came out doing that, I thought of you.
That was George's idea.
George
Ward was the other co-chairman at the time we were on.
So the other connection we have to Dave is, Dave's an engineer. You're a civil engineer?
I am a civil engineer. I was a registered professional engineer in the state of Iowa.
So whenever we had to have like a chemical dike certified, or we needed some type of engineering, my dad would go to Dave, and so a lot of our buildings have Dave's engineering somewhere in it.
A little bit
here, a little bit there, and I don't know how he got paid. Rumors were that back then, maybe some beer traded hands, but I don't know.
Well, actually, one time I got a 50-pound bag of fescue.
50-pound bag of seed, grass seed, yep.
Building a house. I needed some seed for the to grow grass, so that was my payment for that.
The other story I can tell on Dave is when your family was growing up, we always had our scale with the scale head turned around, and you told my dad, you said, well, after church, for entertainment, we drive by the scale and we see what the family weighs. So anyhow,
I've used that. Is that still there?
Yeah, scale's still there.
Yeah.
You can still come by and see what the family weighs, and probably weigh a little bit more than when they were little kids. But anyhow, the other thing too is you used to work up at the ordnance plant, and
I worked there for 57 years.
57 years. And the ordnance plant's where they made ammunition in Middletown, Iowa. But I always saw you almost every day because you picked up somebody across the street from us.
I thought I was being a great conservationist and trying to eliminate too many cars. Carpool. So I took people. Yes, I did that.
Anyhow, Dave's a close friend of the family. We just thank you for coming today. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, except that you really should be proud of your achievements and what you've done here. It's been a great asset to the community. And I wish you best of luck for the next 70 years.
You bet. That's what my dad always said.
From sun up to
Well, we're at open house this year at Merschman Seeds, and ran across one of our dealers and customers and seed growers. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
From Downing, Missouri. Been with Merschman since 2010, or
that could very well be. But you also grow seed for us too.
Yeah, that's been a pretty good deal so far.
And the other thing too is you got his own truck, so he brings them in, picks them up, and you sell. How big an area do you sell in?
Just I don't know, 80-mile radius from Downing.
So what do you like best about Merschman Seeds?
Oh, the friend in the field.
There you go.
Farmer first mentality of Merschman's is just great.
So you just got here today. Is there anything so far at the open house that you didn't know about from Merschman Seeds?
Not really.
No.
I've been through everything before.
Yep. So what's your favorite soybean?
2442 Denver.
Denver? Why do you like them?
They've just been phenomenal for us the last 2 years, and I just like them.
Do you plant any every week?
Yes, I have already, but not in the past couple of years.
Ultra earlies then?
Ultra earlies back then.
Were you able to double crop then?
Yes, we made 90 bushel wheat and 24 bushel beans.
Okay.
So, but I just haven't tried it the last several years with seed beans.
Yep, that's right. Can you tell me about your family?
I have one boy and 4 girls, and we'll be having a grandchild. I tell her it's a son. She refuses to tell me. Next month.
Great.
So.
Congratulations. Now your son farms with you?
Yes, he farms with me. So
how did you get your start farming?
Oh my, Joe. Back when I was 20 years old, we took over the home farm. That was back in 1999, and just grew it from there. Milking cows. We milked cows for right at 13 years, and now we're just row crop and seed business.
Now, I understand that you get around a lot because you have a twin identical brother, right?
Yes, I do.
So anytime you see Keith, it may not be Keith.
Good
Might
chance
be your brother.
it's not.
What's your brother's name?
Kevin.
Kevin. I thought it was Kevin, yeah.
He has the record business.
So sometimes you two get misidentified,
yes,
right?
Exactly. So
are you getting enough rain? Give us a weather report.
Oh, it's been beautiful. I just cannot remember when we last had a July like this. July the 1st, we took a grain bin down. It was 72 degrees for high. Now it's just rain, rain, rain.
So is that pretty predominant in northeast Missouri, would you say?
No, not for July.
Yeah, not for July.
Dry.
But this year, what do you think? What are you hoping for on your crops this year?
Bumper crop.
Bumper crop. And a good price, right?
Good price.
Good price.
Price is the problem.
Yeah, I know. It's, and the best way to solve low prices is high yields.
Exactly. That's why we're throwing the kitchen sink at it.
And it's been a catch-22 for farmers ever since. As you raise the prices, price goes down, but you can't have it one way or not the other.
Exactly.
Do you watch Cup of Joe on a regular basis?
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah. So who's your go-to guy when you need some help at Merschman Seeds?
Ben.
Ben?
Yep.
Why do you like Ben?
Well, I've just been with him the longest. He's full of knowledge.
Very good.
So.
Well, here we are with Keith Martin with a live report from our open house today. And Keith, I want to say thank you for your business.
Thank you, Joe.
I always enjoy seeing your family growing up. It's really something to see all those beautiful girls and, of course, the 2 old guys, right?
Yeah. It's just a matter of time till we're empty nesters. So.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
We have another customer here, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and say where he's from. A little bit of a weather report, if you could, how the crop's looking. Go ahead.
My name is Tim Cook. I'm from Neola, Iowa. That is southwest Iowa, just 23 miles east of Council Bluffs. And our crops are doing real well. We had lots of rain early, but this last week we've been missing the rain. It's been almost 10 days now since we had about 3/4 of an inch. So we noticed there's a lot of rain over here.
Yeah, we've had, we're on that stationary front, and it's like a conveyor belt. We're getting rain on a regular basis. But how long have you been with Merchman Seeds, or how'd you get started?
I looked at the Iowa State Yield Book, and there was, Merchman Seeds had a top seed soybean in there. It was a Truman brand, and I called up the company here, and I believe they sent Turk out to see me, and we signed up right then. It was 1982.
So you've been a while. You've seen a few changes come
yeah.
and go, right?
Yeah, yeah. All good changes.
All good. Tell me about your farming operation. How'd you get started farming, and what's going on right now?
Well, got started with my father, which a lot of people do, and I'm not a big farmer, but I would really want to thank you and Merchman Seeds, because you seem to help out the smaller farmer too, not just the big farmer, and I really appreciate that.
So anything today that you've seen on the open house that you were kind of thought maybe that's pretty cool?
I like the seed department over there, the bagging department. That was really interesting, how the chemicals get put on, and it's really interesting, that stuff.
The seed treatment is very sophisticated, as you know, right now, and it takes a lot of specialized equipment. It's good to be able to see how it's put on and how it's packaged. Now, as you know, it's a tradition at Cup of Joe to tell a corny joke. I understand you have one.
I have a really good one.
Okay.
I've had this for a long, long time. It's one of my favorites. It's two hunters were out in deer season, hunting deer, and they came across this deer. It was just laying on the ground. They could not get it up, no matter what they tried, yelling at it, shaking at it, they could not get it up. So they went back to the farmhouse, and the farmer in there, they told the farmer what was happening. He knew all about it. He says, just a minute, let me get something. He went into the kitchen, come out with something, let's go find the deer. They went out and found the deer. He gave this deer this little powder, and the deer jumped up, ran away. Them two hunters just couldn't believe it. They go, what'd you give that deer? He goes, yeast makes the dough rise.
I like that one. That is definitely fitting for Cup of Joe. Well, thanks for coming today. We appreciate your input.
Thank you, Joe.
You bet. Take care. Well, we had a great time today. Sincerely appreciate all the individuals that came out for our 70th anniversary open house. We had some great tours and some great stories, and really appreciate everyone that did it, and can't thank everybody enough for allowing Merchman Seeds, or permitting Merchman Seeds to be your seed supplier. Like my dad said at the 50th, and I'll say it this way, thanks for the first 70 years. Take care.